Welcome to the Arts and Medicine studio. Today we are privileged to have an amazing artist named May, who's going to let us also see some of her dad's work. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
So nice of you guys to play with us. May, I wanted to share with you my friend Ishaan. Hi, Ishaan.
Nice to meet you, May. And Ben, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Pleasure to see you as always, Ishaan.
Well, Ishaan is a little bit like your dad from the fact that he studied to be a doctor, and that if he could, he probably would be an artist. So I think his awakening to the connection between art and helping people with medicine is shared. And also we have a secret. Ishaan, who's on your lap?
On my lap, I have Juno, as usual, taking a nap. Juno, do you want to say hi?
Juno, say hi to May.
Cute. Hi, Juno.
She's a really cool dog, and she also participates in our video many times. Today we wanted to look into cartooning. What does it mean to draw a cartoon?
I think it like draw a TV show in black and white.
I love it. What does it mean to you, Ben, to draw a cartoon?
Well, the first cartoons I was attracted to were on TV shows, although they weren't black and white. I like the color of the cartoons that I used to watch on TV, but funnily enough, now all the cartoons I draw are black and white. But you know, that's actually a tougher question than you think. What is a cartoon? I don't know any kind of, one definition that you could give that I couldn't then give you five to 100 examples that break it. I think of cartoons, a lot of times they're silly, but they don't have to be silly. A lot of times they're, the drawings are exaggerated, but they can be very realistic too. A lot of times they mix pictures with words, but sometimes they're just pictures alone. And some cartoonists even, it's really just graphic treatments of text too. So it's almost like the words are the pictures. So it can really be anything. But I think something that's true of any cartoon though is that it comes from a lot of imagination.
And that's what we really love in our studio, because everyone who comes to our studio has a lot of things they gotta do. And when they come to the studio, we have the things they want to do. So please remember that when you work with us to make a cartoon today or tomorrow, that a cartoon doesn't have to be any specific way. It could tell a story, or it could just follow a feeling. So I'm really curious what you guys are going to interpret today once we get into exploring a trick that May and Ben has for us to how to just express ourselves and find imagery in cartooning. Ishaan, we did an investigation and looked at a lot of Ben's work. We found some in the New Yorker magazine. We found some that made us laugh and some that made us think. But then we found a cartoon that May's paintings were in. Do you remember that cartoon about the museum and that a picture you painted was in? Do you remember, May?
I think there was like a magazine with one of my pictures in it.
That's amazing. So you're published. You already had your art in a magazine.
But I drew on it with crayons.
It doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes you could draw with a stick and it makes amazing art. Yeah. It doesn't matter what material you use. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be new and be created for the first time ever. So you say, hey, it's mine.
So Ben, do you do all of your cartoons on paper and then you scan it for for it to be published, or do you do it digitally? How do you do it?
The very start is just jotting some ideas in a little notebook and, make tiny drawings on there that really don't mean anything to anyone, except I kind of know what they mean. And then I take just a regular piece of, computer paper and just start sketching things out.
What's computer paper?
The paper you're using right now, like the stuff you would put in a printer. And then I take this sketch, and I can show you over here is my drawing board, and that thing sitting on the drawing board is called a light box. And I use that light box. The light box lets you see through the paper. So what I do is I put another paper over my sketch, and I turn that paper into tracing paper, and I can take this very rough, loose sketch and start tightening up the lines and making more precise decisions. And so from that, I get the more worked out drawing, and then I scan that into the computer and don't really do much editing in the computer to it, but send that off to the magazine.
I really like Ben's work, and I really like looking at it because it makes me laugh a lot, but it also makes me think at the same time. And I really like the way it kind of gives me an idea of how he looks at the world sometimes. And I find that to be extremely funny, but also very insightful.
Like the one from the shark's point of view, right? When
Exactly, yeah, that was
water.
hilarious.
I love that.
And we have a number of cartoonists that come to our studio and like to make lots of really cool cartoons. In fact, we had Mickey as a guest on one of our previous videos who spoke about his inspiration from a lot of the cartoons he grew up watching. And that is the case with me as well. I was so inspired by all those cartoons that my art style also tends to go towards cartooning.
Well, we shouldn't continue to chat like grown-ups normally do, because May's ready.
She
to
is.
workshop
I am too.
with us. And I am just saying, hey, let us see how we can inspire our viewers to approach drawing and creating a cartoon. Ben and May, your turn.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I used to have markers that were the same brand as Lee.
Let me see. Can you put it closer to the camera? Oh, cool.
These are the Faber-Castells. These are what I use for my cartoons.
Cool.
Is that ink too, Ben?
It's an ink. It's ink. It's a brush pen. So.
Nice. A brush pen.
I love those, yeah.
Our brush pens are kind of magic, right? They have some of the control of the pen, but the flexibility of a brush can give you a nice flowing line.
We may have to include a brush pen in our art boxes that we have ready for you guys in the clinic. I think a brush pen would be magical.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, kids have a lot of fun with it. Oh my gosh. So May, you're already ahead of the game.
So May, tell me what we're looking at. Show it to us.
So where's it supposed to, it's called a squiggle game. So someone's just supposed to draw a squiggle, then someone else is just supposed to turn it into something.
That sounds like fun. So what I like about the squiggle game is that it's a good warm up, right? You're going to draw cartoons. It's just like before you're exercising, you're going to run a race, you stretch, you warm up a little bit. Well, if you're going to use your imagination, you got to warm it up. So May, you got your hoodie on. You ready to give your imagination a warm up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to draw a squiggle for you, and I want you to turn it into whatever your imagination sees, okay?
Okay.
So The easy part is the squiggle. I don't have to think too much about it. What should I do? I'm just going to let my wrist do it. It's a squiggle. But what else is it? See, May, she doesn't even have to think too long about it. She just has great cartooning instincts. What are you making here? Is that?
That looks like a snake.
Have you seen a snake like this in the zoo?
No.
That is so fun and so cool.
What would the
And
snake say?
he looks like he's eaten something.
Maybe
He's got a
it's
little bump in his belly.
hey, is it a he or a she?
Yeah.
It's a she.
It's a she. I told you, Ishaan.
Do you think there's something in her belly?
There is.
Are you going to show us?
And I'm drawing what she ate, and because there are two of them.
Oh, wait, is this a smaller animal? It has a shell.
A turtle.
Is that a turtle?
No, it's a tortoise.
Oh,
Tortoise.
It's a tortoise, of course. It's a lamb. I am so inspired, May. So if the python had to say something to the tortoise or the other way around,
I wrote it.
can you read it to us?
It says hiss.
That sounds like what a snake would say.
I love it.
hiss.
That's brilliant.
Got it right.
Yes, you spelled hiss right. Just the right amount of I's and S's.
That's amazing. So what are we gonna do now, May?
Do you want to make a squiggle for me?
Yeah. Here's your good squiggle.
Oh, she pre-made a squiggle, and it's a tough one.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that's a tough one.
What are you gonna do, Ben?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We have so much fun, we lose control. What could this be? This is where I have to start my imagination going, because, maybe I could see this could be like a duck or a bird with a beak there. That's one thing. And turn it around. A toucan. Oh, we got birds on the mind. I could see that being a bigger beak this way, a toucan. Could also see that looks like a funny single hair on the top of someone's head. Do something with that.
Kind of looks like a baby that's wrapped up.
I see the baby wrapped up. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
With a single hair sticking out on top.
Or maybe it's Juno's tail when it curls over your lap.
Blue eyes.
Right.
Make a little, let's do the baby. I like that idea. And that's really, just with a few extra pieces, we made it a baby, right?
Oh, wow.
You want to add more?
Wow.
You can always add more. May, what do you think? What did I leave out?
It looks like someone might be holding the baby this way.
Oh, let's see. Can you draw the person holding the baby? Yeah, it just helps. It helps keep your mind, keep the ideas flowing. Because, when you're a kid, especially when you're a kid like May, the ideas just flow out of you. You get to be an old person like me, and I have to really sit and think for a while for my imagination to really get in gear. I find
maybe grown-ups think about outcome too much.
that's right. There's something very freeing about just going right to the paper and not having a plan, just going right to it. I love this, man.
That is awesome. Thank you
Thank
so much, May, for opening up our imagination. And I'm definitely going to play this game a lot more often.
And if you're watching us and you drew some squiggles and made them into characters or not, and wanted us to try to make something out of it, please write to me and I'll share it with May at aimnitza@gmail.com. And if May doesn't mind, maybe I'll share it with Ben as well. So send them over. Thank you so much for having so much fun with us. And
You.
see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.